How's everyone doing? This is a stack of books, and it's all the books I've read so far this year. Am I out of focus? Probably. So, let's start off with a couple of goals that I have. My first goal, the Goodreads goal, is for me to read 30 books this year. I have read 15. However, it is in the middle of July, so according to Goodreads, I am actually one book behind. Also, I usually try to finish my Goodreads goal by the end of October because I know I almost never read anything in November because of NaNoWriMo, and then December is usually like a hit or miss for me. Some years I have read a lot of books in December and some years I have read nothing. My other goal was to either read or get rid of all the books that I purchased in 2016. That goal is actually going super well. I have one book left, which is I'll Give You the Sun by Jancy Nelson, and I am in the middle of it. I am actually reading it at the moment. I have been reading it for several months, but we don't have to talk about that. I am currently reading the only book I have left in that goal, for that goal. So, doing well in that regard. Now, let's move on to this tag. I am gonna get my computer. I should have done this before I started filming, but no, I did not. Planning. Who is she? Okay, so the first question is best book you've read so far in 2020. And that's Sadie. Definitely Sadie. This one here. I am not actually gonna... This tag is just gonna stay there. I'm just gonna point to the book that I'm talking about. These are all relatively well-known titles, all of them. So, Google it if you have never heard of them. But Sadie by Courtney Summers, best book I've read so far this year. Best sequel you've read so far in 2020. Okay, so I read a lot of sequels. I've actually finished 5 series. Finishing off 5 series in 15 books. I think that's pretty good. And then I've read 3 more sequels where the series isn't finished yet. I'm gonna go with The Lady's Guide to Petticoat and Piracy. This one, the purple, really nice purple book. It's so good, you guys. Like, it was perfect. Felicity is everything. So, and the next one, the third one is new release you haven't read yet, but want to. And that is Felix Ever After by Casey? Are you called Kate? You're not called that. What's the author's name? Casey Calendar? No. Let's look it up. Casey Calendar. It was close. Yeah, I really want to read that book, but here's the thing. I'm trying to not buy as many books or spend that much money on books at the moment, but it is my birthday in September and I plan to actually buy myself a couple of books for that occasion. But not until September. For most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Okay, so that's the third book in the series of The Guide by Mackenzie Lee. So there's been The Gentleman's Guide and The Lady's Guide, and the third and final book in the series is The Nobleman's Guide to something. Okay, so the third book is called The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwreck by Mackenzie Lee. Hello! I just got... Oh my god. Hey! Emma! Okay, so the book is called The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwreck by Mackenzie Lee. And yeah, after having read The Gentleman's Guide and The Lady's Guide, I am all for reading the third book in the series. I can't wait. 5 is the biggest disappointment so far, and to be completely honest, There's actually a lot of disappointment in this stack. But with that said, I knew they were going to be disappointments even before I read the book. Because a lot of the series that I have finished off because I just wanted to be done with the series and I wasn't particularly interested in it anymore. So I'm not sure if you can call that like the biggest disappointment. I didn't actually expect it to be anything else than that. But I am actually gonna say the entire trilogy of Everland by Wendy Spinale. And okay, here's the thing. I gave the first book 4 stars, the second one 3 stars, and the last one 2 stars. Thinking back on it, it probably should be 4 to 2 stars on those books. And my biggest disappointment regarding those books is like the world building. I couldn't get into it because I didn't really get the world building because it wasn't really there even. It wasn't explained, it wasn't developed, it just kind of was there and you didn't really know what the rules were. So sometimes it was really hard to follow along. And then on top of that, I'm not the biggest fan of retellings. So for me personally, it wasn't a good combination. But, you know, each reader to their own. 7 is new favorite author of the year. Okay, so that is without a doubt Courtney Summers, who wrote Sadie. Now that's the only book I have read by Courtney Summers, but I am interested to checking out more of her works. But yeah, I am on a book buying ban at the moment, so I'm not actually buying any books, so I'm not reading anything else but the books that I have on my bookshelves. But someday in the future I will check her out. 8 is newest fictional crush, and no one. Number 9, newest favorite character. Okay, so I should be able to answer this, right? Oh, Felicity. Without a doubt, it's Felicity. I love Felicity from The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. She's great. She's everything. She's spot on what I needed when I read that book. 10 is a book that made me cry, and Sadie is the obvious answer for this because that book is just heartbreaking. There's so many heavy topics in that book and the ending is so open-ended and you don't really understand everything, but you get the implications of everything and it's just, it gets you. It really gets you. But I'm actually gonna say The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy as like a second book in these category. Okay, so I have always heard other people talk about that one time, that single one time, the first time where they read a book where they saw themselves on the page. That's not something I have really been able to relate to because I am a white cis woman. I see myself in a lot of books and it's not something I really have had to reflect on while growing up. But reading The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, I get it. I get it 100%. And I get how emotional it can be seeing yourself on a page for the first time. And for that reason, this book is always gonna have a special place in my heart. I love Felicity. Number 11, a book that made you happy. Can I say The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy again? I can't, I shouldn't. Heartstopper. Heartstopper made me happy. That book is just cute and funny and cute. So, number 12 is the most beautiful book you bought this year. I have only bought 5 books this year and I can't even remember all of them. Oh, I'm gonna go with Rebel. Rebel is really beautiful. When you're talking about beautiful books. You should show them, right? It's gorgeous. I'm gonna put up a picture. Nice, right? Number 13. What book do you need to read by the end of the year? So, there's Felix Ever After. I really want to read that book. I don't know if it's a need, but it feels like a need. There is also My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Tessa Moshfegh, I think. I am in the middle of that book. I have been reading it for months. I just want to finish it. And there's the I'll Give You the Sun, which is the last book in my Finish All the Books You Read in 2016 challenge. And I am in the middle of that book as well. So those are the 3 books I want to definitely get to. And then number 14 is favorite book community members. I wish I watched more BookTube than I do, but I watch a lot of Books and Lala. And then I really enjoy Olivia from I Livy for Books, and she does a lot of book reviews, but she also does a lot of cool book art and defacing books, and yeah, she's great. Watch her. I'm gonna link both of those down in the description bar. You know. Have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Tell me. Maybe I should give you my average star rating so far. Can you find that on Goodreads? Okay, so here are my year in review so far when I've read half of the books that I have on my goal. So I have read 6,422 pages across 15 books. My shortest book was 288 pages and my longest was 912. And my average length of book is 428, which is very high for me. Very, very high. The most popular book I have read this year according to Goodreads is The House of Hades by Rick Riordan, and the least popular book I've read so far this year is Ausland by Wendy Spinale. My average rating for 2020 so far is 3.5 stars. And my highest rated book on Goodreads that I've read so far is Heartstopper Volume 3. And as of filming this video, I have 168 days left to read 15 books. So what's that? 1 book every 10th day around? That should be doable. Really should. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this, and I hope you are all having a wonderful day, and then I will see you next time I'm posting a video. Goodbye!